I don't want to live this way anymore. Like, I don't.
Now to a 27 Investigates special report dealing with addiction. At 5, you heard from Kevin Smith. He's in the Mahoning County Jail tonight after pleading guilty to breaking into several local homes. He says he did it to support his drug habit. 27 Investigates reporter Amanda Smith sat down with him for a one-on-one interview at the front lines of the heroin epidemic. New at 6, he's sharing more of his story and how his problem got out of control.
About 1 month ago, I got this letter from inside the Mahoning County Jail. In these 2 pages, I heard from Kevin Smith for the first time. And I was struck with just how deeply he says he feels about his drug addiction and how he's looking forward to a better future. 10 years ago, Michael Smith was seeing his son Kevin off to art school in Los Angeles.
We always worried about, well, what if he doesn't finish school and he decides to become like a street musician or something out there? At this point in time, wow, I really wish something crazy was going to happen. That would have happened, not this.
The sky was the limit.
Kevin loved music, he loved art, he loved writing. When you do heroin, it basically replaces all those things you like with the heroin.
Young Kevin went away to art school, but he came home early, that bright future starting to dim.
And by then he was heavy into the pills. And then from there he went to heroin. And that's why I'm sitting here today, because
I met with Kevin here at the Mahoning County Jail. When we sat down together, he tells me he knows it was his choice to start using drugs, but heroin took him places he never intended to go.
I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, or guys that I graduated with but hadn't been doing anything since they graduated, basically, except like drug use for real.
He was sucked into a world of petty crime and IV drug use. He became addicted to heroin.
I was basically on the streets. I was like sleeping on the ground. I had nothing, and I was doing some really, really dumb stuff to support my habit.
In 2013, he was arrested and charged with burglary for breaking into homes in Austintown. Then again last year, he was arrested and charged with that same crime. He says the bright boy who graduated from Niles so many years ago is still inside, somewhere.
I hate the fact that I've hurt this community or anybody doing the things that I've done. Like, I lay in bed and think about it every night, because that's not the person I am.
Michael Smith says he loves his son, and he blames heroin for his fall.
He stole. And I apologize to the people out there for that. Wasn't raised that way. Everything he loved, he just replaced with that. It's the devil. It changes a person.
I contacted several of Kevin's victims, but none of them returned my calls. Kevin's family is trying to come to grips with the fact that he is going to prison. Probably for years. Michael still hopes for a bright future for his son.
No matter what he's done wrong, you serve your time and get it in your head straight that, hey, I can do this. I'd like to see, before I leave this earth, him to be clean and successful. I couldn't ask for anything else. Will that happen? I don't know. It's up to him.
Kevin has been clean for 8 months. He says he hopes to continue that streak for the rest of his life, but he knows it won't be easy.
I thought I had enough before, and every time I've relapsed, it's gotten 1,000 times worse, and eventually it's going to end up in my death.
For now, Kevin is sober and still in jail. Now, on March 23rd, he's going to find out how long he'll have to spend in prison.
Tough situation for his family, but they seem to be turning this into something where they can help others.
Yes, they are starting to do outreach. In fact, they took part in the Niles Walk Against Heroin recently.
Interesting. What's next for Kevin's story?
Well, I'll check in on Kevin's court date, but one thing I did tell to him during our interview is the next time we spoke, I wanted it to be an interview on the outside. I wanted him to be successful and sober somewhere.
All right, we'll look forward to that.
All right, thanks, Amanda.